lovely. Abundance is filled to overflowing, and lovely is what we are filled with, and that is love. Today we are talking about why my 2025 vision board failed. Now, I have been doing vision boards for many years. I am a millennial, Gen Y, who grew up scrapbooking, and so I love vision boards. Physical vision boards or digital virtual vision boards, all of them are about the visionaries in this world, and that is definitely me. I love translating visions into actions. These are very limited tools though when it does come to planning for a new year. And this is what I want to talk about today. There is neuroscience behind why vision boards can be powerful and effective tools. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about why vision boards should fail. Hear me out. To begin, let me talk about my journey with vision boards. Now, I started off by doing them in my diaries. So I have physical diaries. I take a spread and I would cut out inspirational quotes, Bible verses, and photos. Now, these photos weren't my own photos. These were from Pinterest, and they would often capture an emotion that I wanted to embody in that next year. So it might be a photo that was representing adventure or sparking curiosity, creativity, etc., etc. And these would be in that spread in my diary, so then at any point in the year I could flick back and see it. So it was really a tool where I was preparing my heart for a new year. I was setting up the type of year I wanted to have through emotion and through inspiration. What I have seen in recent years is vision boards have become very mainstream, popular culture. The danger with this type of vision boards though that is being promoted is that they are about manifesting your dream life. This is problematic. The reason this is very problematic is that while you can have dreams and hopes for your future and you can put them in photograph form, evidence, and map them out and have them there physical for you as reminders throughout the year of what you want, goals, there is something that we have to keep in mind, and that is a question that you need to ask yourself when you put something on your vision board. Do I have control or influence over this thing? If it is something that is not able to be influenced by you or controlled by you, it probably doesn't belong on your vision board and you'll end up discouraged and disappointed. But that aside, what we end up putting on our dream boards is what we are hoping for, and it's the desires of our hearts. Now, when it comes to manifesting those things and wanting them to become a reality, what manifestation means is that we set an intention and we then try to align that intention to our attention, our actions throughout the year so that they may be realized. The problem with this is that we are the source of the intention and then therefore the response. This is limiting as a Christian because we have an understanding that there is a bigger intention on our lives and that there has been an intentionality built into the creation of the entire world that doesn't necessarily just involve us. There is more than just us in this world. And so if we create visions around our own lives, we might actually be limiting ourselves to the bigger vision, the bigger intention that God has for all of humanity. And so manifesting is very limited, and the reason that I don't agree with manifesting in particular is that I don't want my own desires and my own dreams to distract me from what God has for me. What I mean by that is God has given us desires. That is something that He has created, and so it is a good thing. It's not something that is bad. It's not something that we should be ashamed of. We are creatures who love to dream, who love to create visions and cast visions over our own lives and over the lives of others. What we have to realize is why. Why has God given us this ability? And that is because He wants us to desire, to long, to yearn, to seek Him. Our desires are made for Him. And so this is why when we put our desires in things that are not Him, we come away empty. We come away still searching and yearning for more. Each year, vision boards will just continue to need more to be able to be satisfied. There is an endless need for satisfaction when our desires are things that aren't founded in God, because nothing else satisfies. Nothing else satisfies. And so we have to remember that there are little d desires and there is a big D desire. And so our desire should be aligning to God's desire. And when our desire is for God, our desires become His desires for us and for His world. He uses us as His vessels for His glory. We are glory reflectors here on earth, and we also can be vision carriers of His to this world. And so vision boards as a whole can have different intentions and different approaches and different heart postures. And so I'm not speaking about the mainstream vision boards, but I do want to speak to my 2024 and 2025 vision boards for you, because I fear that I did delve into the world's view of vision boards. Let me tell you why. So I'll show you the 2024 vision board first. Now, this gave me a false sense of security. I created this, and by the end of 2024, looked back on it and was like, wow, like I have realized a lot of the things that are on my vision board, which was really surprising, but also really encouraging. And so I went into 2025 with that same mindset of hopefulness. The thing about 2024 was I put things on there I knew were already going to happen. I was just getting excited about those things. I was just preparing for those things. So the engagement ring that was on there was something that we had started designing at the end of the year prior, so the end of 2023. So I knew there was a genuine possibility that the engagement would happen in 2024. And I ended up getting married in 2024 too. You don't see that on my vision board. So that's just evidence that God might have a bigger vision for our lives than what we could even fathom. But like I said, I went into 2025 with a similar mindset from my 2024. And so I started to put things on there that I wanted to happen. So you will see that I have pregnancy as one of the images. And this is what I mean by being careful, because some would say that pregnancy is something that you can control and influence. And I think I actually now disagree. God honestly is the one who can provide that miracle that is life, that is the ability to bear a child. And it is not something, I can say this with true experience, it's not something that you can control or influence. If I could, I would be pregnant right now. This is just a perfect example though of why my vision board failed, and it's been a good lesson because I've realized, of course I want it to fail. I want it to fail because I want what God has for me to be different and bigger than what I could far dream or imagine for myself. I also need to remember that He knows what the long-term eternal lens on my life is, and He has a grander perspective than I can. The problem with the year vision board is that we are looking at a blip in eternity. We're looking at such a short time frame. We're being very short-sighted with our lives if we are just looking in year increments, because there might be seasons where God has 3 years, 7 years of waiting for us before we are able to reap the harvest. And are we willing to wait? Are we willing to endure and to be obedient and to be faithful in that? God's ways are greater than our ways. His plan and purpose for our lives is far greater than we could imagine. And so my vision board failed, and I realized that going into 2026, vision boards shouldn't be so concrete. There should be space in our vision boards for God to move. Any plans that we have, we should hold on to them lightly, not tightly. We should be able to surrender them. And the reason why is if we are holding on to plans and dreams so tightly, visions so tightly, we are going to despair. We are going to get discouraged if those don't become a reality. We also are at risk of growing bitter and not being grateful when God does provide things for us in different seasons, things that may differ than what we wanted. We have to remember that God is a good Father and He gives good gifts to His children. And so what He has for us and what He has in store for us, we have to remember that He knows what He's doing, even if it doesn't make sense to us. The other big element of vision boards is they are about vision. They are about sight. They are about what is seen. They are visual. They are literally us printing out things that can be seen and putting them down so we can see them. The limitation is that God works in the unseen. There is so much that is unseen that we would not be able to even put on a vision board. And this is a good thing. This is why we need space, and this is why our heart's posture and our heart's preparedness is way more important than the physical thing on the page. Something that I started doing at the end of this last year, so 2025, is I started a prayer journal, and in here every day you put dot points, and that is prayers that you are praying in that season on that day. When you then go look back months past, you can see the fingerprint of God. You can see how He has shown up and answered the prayers that you were praying in due course, in His timing, because the timings don't make sense to us, and it's only when we have the ability to have hindsight that we can start to see the glimmers of why. I don't believe we will ever understand the why fully. We can taste and see that He is good and see that He is able to provide. The other big issue with vision boards is that they can be at risk of being wish lists. They might be things we offer to God and say, God, here is my heart, here is my desires, here are my visions for this year, here you go. But God does not work in the department of wish fulfillment. He cares far more for our hearts than our lists, than our wishes. And because He cares about our hearts, it means that He wants our hearts to be shaped and changed after His heart, which means in turn our lists, our wish lists, our desires will change. And so that is ultimately the vision and call that I want to leave you with. It's not a case of looking to our own abilities to cast visions. It's coming to the creator of the universe, the maker of the heavens and the earth, the one who cast the stars in the skies. He is our vision caster. Let Him cast a vision on your life, a vision that is so far grander than your own comprehension. And to wrap it up, I just want to encourage you that if you are someone that loves vision boards like me, there are a few things that you can do as you walk into the new year, and you can ask and pray that God might prepare your heart, that He might reveal what you need to do to be ready to receive. He might put a word on your heart. He might put a prayer on your heart. So that's the end of this blog for today. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. Stay tuned for more on Abundance of Lovely soon.